Hello, everyone. So I guess we are now good to start. So the webinar is about what's new in Revit 2025. So let's just get it started. So Archons, we are now part of the Archons group spanning to 19 countries. Our vision is to become a leading partner for digitalization for different industries, which includes the construction and the manufacturing sectors. We have consultants that deal with the real life industries experience covering the range of software. You can see the Autodesk, Bluebeam, Siemens, Trimble, and different other softwares as well. They basically give you technological guidance to all of our customer, but now around the world. So, and during the session, if you have any question, you can simply write on the chat, or alternatively, you can simply reach us on info@a2ktechnologies.com.au. Okay, something about me. So my full name is Raja Daniel Akbar. I am a technical consultant MEP in Archons. So I have around more than 5 years of experience working as a MEP design engineers. I have done some super high-rise and high-rise building, the residential one and the commercial one. And side by side, I started using the Revit, and I get involved. So I have been a Revit user since 2019 now. So it's quite a few time now. And if I talk about from where I started my journey, so I have done a mechanical engineering bachelor's, and afterwards I have done a energy systems. I'm also a Autodesk certified instructor as well. So you will see some courses of me regarding the MEP, architectural, and the family creation stuff as well. Okay, so the major theme here, we will simply, the new features in Revit 2025 basically falls into these 6 categories. You will see the design productivity, sustainability, and analysis, the MEP analysis and the structural analysis, and the increased interoperability and the efficiency of the cloud and data, and finally the improvements in your construction documentation. So the core feature here is basically the list of your core feature enhancement that have been updated through 2025 to 2025.2 releases. You will see most of them are the related to architecture, and some of them are iterative improvements, and some of them in sustainability as well, and the structure as well, and few of them are in the MEP sectors. So we will explore each one of them one by one. Okay, so let's just start with the design productivity. So you will see we have some new features regarding the architecture changes. The next is great walls with auto join and the lock. So previously we don't have this auto join and lock options. You can see now you can automatically join or join and lock a newly created architectural wall with the adjacent one. And if you insert any element, door, window, it will basically create a opening for you, and you can still use the wrapping around your inserted items. So I can show you in at the end of this session. I will, if we got the time, I will show you some demonstrations as well. So, so these options are not available for your structural walls, space-based, stacked, and curtain wall. But if you join making two walls together like this, and you are aligning and locking them together, you can simply move them together as well. And another one is basically you have these options. You have in your Revit view, you will see these icons in your canvas, which can control your wall wrapping. So you can quickly control your wall wrapping but just by clicking on these icons. And again, they are view specific, just like the annotation stuff. As the annotation stuffs are view specific, they are also view specific as well. And also provided that your wrapping must be enabled in your wall type properties window. So if they are available, you can simply control it using in your canvas. Same goes for disallow wall joint. This function was previously in 2024 version as well, but now you can control them in your canvas. You can simply see this icon over here. You can simply click and unclick to allow your wall joints or disallow your wall joints. It will basically work in your plan views, your 3D views as well. The another great improvement is you can now create for your mullions. You can use profiles. So, and in your profile, you can basically use multiple loops. Just like if you guys work with the families, you must have the idea of the loop. You can create multiple loops. Like this particular profile is created using the multiple loops. Like you can see this is the single loop over here, and this one loop is here. So you can now use multiple loops to create your mullions with profiles, and you have this higher level of development in your mullions as well. Yeah, so if you do families stuff, in previous version, we have the limitation for the number of array counts. We cannot go lower than the 2 number, but right now you can create a family which can have a array count of 0 and 1 as well. And this is pretty useful tool. Like if you want to create a seating arrangement for an auditorium or even for a dining table, you can create your single family and you just need to define your array count. So in 2025 version, your array simply can contain 0 or 1 element as well. The major or some slight improvements are in the topo solids as well. So if you remember from 2023 version, we have building pads, and then in 2024 version, they have removed the building pads option. But if you are now importing your 2023 model to basically 2025 version, you can still create your turbo solids, and these building pads will basically convert it into the excavated area. So the new option added in your turbo solid in 2025 is the excavation area, where you can simply excavate the area from the turbo solid. And another great option is previously you were not able to use the massing to create your turbo solid. Now you can use the massing to create the turbo solid, but you just need to make sure they are on any non-vertical faces. Let's say if you select your turbo solid which is created from the mass, you will always see that this option in your properties palette will always be ticked. So this simply shows that this turbo solid is actually created from the masses. Okay. And again, if you are using masses, you can quickly create some complex shapes as well, and you can further use Dynamo and all of this stuff to, okay. So if I go further ahead, yeah. So the new improvement in your TopoSolid is you can excavate your TopoSolid area by using a floor, roof, and another TopoSolid as well, which is really a good improvement. As previously, you just need to create some in place family or in place void to cut or excavate your TopoSolid area, and you can immediately get back to the original shape by clicking on removing excavation. So this way you cannot lose your toposolid or data history, and you have more control over your topography cutouts. And with this excavation, you will see some new parameters are added. Let's say there are two parameters that is added for the toposolid. One is total excavation volume, and the another one is individual excavation volume. Let's say you have created multiple excavation using the floor and using this wall and other items. You will see the excavation volumes here, like you can see it with the floor, you can see it with the basic wall and wall foundation for all different types, and your total excavation area here as well. And they can also appear on your schedule. So you can use the multi-category schedules and you can see the excavation volume here, which again makes it easier to coordinate with the site personnel. And it's again the more efficient way you can uh, populate your excavation volume. Yeah, another great feature is previously the shaft opening is basically if your shaft opening is touching your topo solid, it will basically cut through the whole depth of your toposolid. But now in 2025, it basically respond to the top and the base constraint of your shaft. Like you can see on this picture, the base constraint here and the cutout in the toposolid. So it's now responding to the base constraint of your shaft cutout. Again, this is a great enhancement in cutting out your toposolid as well. Yeah, this one is another a great one. Like previously in when you cut your toposolid or you have used anything like shaft to cut your toposolid, you were not able to host anything on your cutout area. You were able to place your railings over your toposolid, but not these hosted element. Now you can host your elements on these cutout area, and you will notice that your host will be your whole toposolid. So again, that's a pretty great enhancement in 2025 version. Next, if you have link topography improvement, you will see that the elements like site components, tree, or your parking lot, and even your spot annotation that has been placed on the link topo will be preserved after reloading the revised link. Like you don't need to do the extra work if you reload or change anything in your link model. So this is again the great improvement. But if you are working with link topography, just note that if you reloaded the link shape or your face of your topo have been changed and it does not include the original host visit, the elements won't be hosted at the original plane. As so you need to take care of your this thing as well. This is for visuals, like you can see the triangulated areas here. So if you have a lot of triangulated area, the new option is added under the masking and site, and you just need to click on this expanded panel, and you will see this topo solid smooth shading. So this is the example of topo solid smooth shading. You can get rid of these triangulated sharp corners. And again, you can even print, or these smoothness can be maintained in your print, or if you are exporting the 3D, or if you are exporting a PDF, you can preserve the visual style of your topo solid as well. Now, the topo solid is, if you have used 2023 or 2022 versions for editing your topography, you will see uh, that this is the most hectic process when you are placing the topo solid points. So now the improvement is, when you are in your editing mode, you will still able to see your contour. So it basically gives you improved control over editing your editing your points. So you will still be able to see your contour display when you are basically editing your, or placing the points on your topo solids. Some more controls in the visibility graphics, like you can, if you go on topo solids here, you can see the folding lines, which is these triangulated ones. You can turn them on and you can turn them off during the editing process. This is the most liked feature. Like they have given you the option to snap to the snap to the points where uh, uh, in your topo solid. So you can simply enable or disable the snapping to internal points and edges when you are in your shape editing mode. So it makes it easier to pick up any particular point. Let's say you have created a floor in your topo solid, and when you are in your editing mode, you can simply click on snap XYZ, and you will be able to pick the points on your floor or even on your roof or any other topo solid. So this is again uh, the great feature, as it increases the accuracy of your points. So if you have more number of points, obviously you have more accuracy. So this greatly increase your accuracy of creating your topo solid. And again, we have this option. If you have messed with your topo solid, you can always reset your shape and get back to your uh, original shape of your topo solid. So you have this reset shape button here, and you can simply go back to your on. Some improvement for um, twin motion, like you are now able to linking your low detail Revit families to high resolution twin motion assets. So you can efficiently control the placement of your elements within your Revit environment, so without sacrificing the computing performance. So you just need to go on this substitution setting, and you can quickly set up your substitution directly, and you simply need to map your uh, Revit family with the twin motion object, and it will again not going to use your on computation power. So again, it is a good feature for those who are basically creating or interested in creating the renderings. And we have some upgrades in Dynamo as well. So you can say some few more nodes are added. Like you can see the topo-solid nodes are added. You can simply create topo-solids by using the Dynamo nodes, and some more updated sample files are added as well, and some improved interactions with geometry. So nearly the improved version of Dynamo slightly. So you can work better with 3.03 upgrade of Revit 2025 version. And some UI updates as well. You will see new homepage, new workspace, workspace-based template, some new nodes, and you can create panels or on curved surfaces, and can define data node for validating incoming data type. You can unpin and collapse preview bubbles, and you can update node icons and library to, or you can simply basically customize the node icons and the library. So overall, UI improvement as well. And you might have seen this before in 2024 version, but in 2025 version, this is basically the default view, and you can use it to search by name. You can search both the files and the folders in the same in the same hub, and you can simply switch back to legacy Revit home by simply toggling on or clicking on here. You can switch back to the previous version's home as well. But in 2025, this is now the default UI of your home page. Some improvement in your project browser, like this is useful if you have very large projects and you have very large project browser. You will see some icons or the tabs created separately for different thing here, which is your views, legends, your schedules, panel schedule, your sheet families, group paneling. So you can quickly access your different things in your project browser, and it basically minimize your scrolling and the number of clicks. So it improve your navigation with less scrolling and fewer clicks. Again, search is improved in 2025 version. Like when searching in project browser, you can now view all the child nodes. So when the parent node, like this is the parent one, contains the keyword, so that user could get better searching result than before. So like when you cannot remember the accurate words in your child node, you can simply type the word and it will going to give you all of your child nodes under your parent node. So like you can see the difference here. There are 4 numbers here and you can see the 6 here, the 2 here. So again, the improve, you can search more efficiently in 2025 versions. Some dark theme to just to be consistent with your 2025 UI. We have the dark theme in 2024 as well and in 2025. And now we have this in our shared views as well. Yeah, for structure, those who work in the structure side, you will see the parametric splicing of the typical rebar. Like the new option is you can see the splice rebar here, and you have multiple rebars here. You can pick individual rebars as well, or you can simply splice them using by length as well. You can define the minimum length and you can define the maximum length, and this way you can splice your rebars basically, and it is simply basically enhancing your efficiency in accurately modeling your rebar systems. And for these rebars, you can, let's say if you have any different length other than your specified one, you can quickly search them using the filter. You can filter them as well, so you can perform the QA on your models as well. So you can see the maximum bar length parameter can be appear on your filter as well. So it gives you great control over if you are managing the QC of your model. So you can quickly investigate your rebar lengths and the minimum lengths. And you have more control over the rebars. In Revit 2025, you can disable rebar constraints on individual bar handles, and you can block their modifications of the bar when basically your concrete is changes. And you can also check the status of your rebar which have uh, these modifications disabled. You can filter them and you can see some disabled, and you can define the colors, and you can quickly pick up the rebars which have disabled uh, constraint. Yeah, previously there were no split tool and the split width gap for steel members. Now you can uh, simply split steel framing columns that have steel connection, and they are now enabled to ensure you have a consistent ribbon experience for accessing split and split with gap for steel members as well. So you will see these two options with your steel members. And you can more easily use steel connection automation, which is now more simplified and letting you automate your more connections by using less scripts. So it's just update on the program, backend program, and you can now quickly create your or quickly use your steel connection automation, and it's more simplified version by running less scripts. Some new parameters are basically added, and some new way to calculate the weight and the and the length of your structural steel. So you will notice improved structural steel parameters with reliable values for steel framings, and column to increase the accuracy and enable new scheduling options. So this changes basically include the new length parameter and the new weight parameter for steel framings and the columns. And they have also modified the weight calculation method, which you can always check on their website, the way they are calculating the weight for the structure steel members and the steel connections as well. Yeah. So Revit Personal Accelerator. So it's just a window application. So you will see some improvement on this. This basically optimize your performance when you are working in the Revit cloud. So just iterative improvement on this. You will see improved performance and stability when you are working with Revit cloud models. And some macro tools renovation. Um, they have some renovations in macro management tool. So the macro management tool basically allows you to create and run macros using Visual Studio. So they have now implement a new integrated development environment, so making it easy to get started with API development. So again, they have just streamlined and line your coding experience as well. So, and this is again the changes in your visibility graphics. So based on their customer feedback, and the discipline filter in the visibility graphics override dialog have been updated, and you will see the predefined list filters in the visibility graphics. Uh, the modifications are shown in the table. For example, the audio visual devices are now showing in both the architecture and the electrical filters and the mechanical equipment as well. So, and same goes for the medical equipment. You can see they are now showing in the architecture, mechanical, electrical, and the piping discipline as well. So again, you can work more efficiently with this. In 2025, you will see some options from the option bar have been moved to the property palette, and some have been moved to the to your top ribbon. So this this relocation simply enhances your visibility and accessibility, and these are the names which have been moved to the ribbon and which have been moved to the properties palette here. So we have mark numbers. So they have the auto generation of mark number for these categories have been disabled. So it will not going to auto generate the mark numbers. You can control, you can still give your own value to the mark numbers as well, only for these categories. For MEP fabrication parts, those who work on fabrication side of thing, you will notice some new option here, like instead of reloading your fabrication configuration, you can quickly check for the bad connections and you can avoid the rework. So again, this is a pretty good option. Like it saves you heaps of time. And the much awaited, you can now use the single phase component. You will see now area and the equipment loads will now allow single phase load calculations as well. So for analytical distribution element, and you will see it also applies for the power source, bus, and the transfer switches. And all of these will now going to allow the single phase in addition to three phase as well. And also you will notice the analytical transformers will also support single phase and the three phase configuration. So it makes your load calculations or even your wire sizing more accurate in Revit as well. And new parameters are added. So Revit now allow you to set a maximum amount of circuit through a new parameter, which is maximum amount of circuit. You can use this parameter to set the maximum number of ports on each data panel. So when you connect more devices than the set capacity of the panel, you will receive a warning indicating that you have exceeded the panel's capacity. So again, this is a, a good option. You can quickly check the maximum amount of circuits and maximum amount of port you have available in your circuit, so you don't oversize the system like that. So the good addition. Yeah, in your project browser previously you cannot make account for the low voltage panel such as your fire alarms and different power circuit, but now you can power from the low voltage panels such as fire alarms can now be accounted for the power circuit and the equipment feeding. So you will see that the system browser reports a load assigned to the power connector. You can see the Ethernet switch and you can see Ethernet switch with power connector, and we can take account of these small devices as well. Some improvements in the families related to electrical. So you will now be able to get more accurate bounding and circuiting for lighting fixture and devices. So the improvements made for basically circuit boundary lines associated with nested family, and even in picture you can see that the circuits show the correct connection between the lighting fixture and the nested lighting device the nested lighting device and the lighting fixture. So again, they have enhanced the circuiting for lighting fixture and devices within the nested families. So you can add your fabrication data manager. So you can see you will now be able to add and remove types and edit data information in your parts editor, and even when you are editing your data, you can quickly see the preview of it. So it makes your fabrication workflow a lot easier. And some enhanced searching capabilities. You can filter using the part data. You can search by part name, and you can just redefine the thumbnail or the preview of your or the UI of this window for better experience. And with your fabrication data manager, you can simply assign images. So you can the images generated from your 3D model, you can generate it from the 3D model, or you can simply, if you have the images, you can directly upload the image here. So you can upload your PNG format, JPEG format, and JPG images here. So the next step is next in the line is sustainability. You will see some more improvement in your GBXML and the analysis thing. So those who have experience of using this GBXML schema. So GBXML is basically the XML schema from the green building, where you can simply transfer the building energy data from different software to the different software which supports the GBXML. Like if you are doing the load calculations, you can simply extract the data from your Revit model and export it to your load calculation software, and this will basically save you time from manually entering the room name and the different engineering data as well. And now it is more improved, is basically contain the data for the zoom equipment, air system, your water loops, hydronic loops, and some more HVAC system, which is air system, heat exchangers, some fans, chillers, and the coil types. So now you are able to export more data with version 7.03. So basically Pharma offers you very great feature for for the architects, or for those who are looking to scale up their conceptual design proposal. So with basically Forma add-in in Revit, you can turn a Forma proposal into Revit project. And if you make any further updates, you can easily send them back to Forma for more detailed analysis and validation. So you will notice the two different key features. One is you can transfer from Forma to Revit, and you can also transfer Revit to Forma updates. So you have this to and fro transfer accessibility between Forma and Revit. So this way you can do the analysis, and they have some latest analysis capabilities, which is embodied carbon. It basically allow architects to better understand the uh, carbon impact of their project from the day one, And the next one is the solar analysis. This is right now in a beta version. So you can quickly do the solar analysis and assess your site to basically generating the electricity from the solar, so you can quickly assess them. But right now it's in the beta version. And the housing tool, so with this housing tool you can swiftly populate your site with different housing types, and you can quickly iterate your design. You can quickly reiterate your design again and again. And the last one is your Rhino extension. So you have the plugin for Rhino, which basically allows you to pull the contextual data from Forma to Rhino. And again, it's the um, uh, back and forth data moving from the Rhino and back to the Forma. So you have these new updates in your Forma add-ins. So for Insight, which is, you will see it will be pre-installed in Revit 2025 version. So you will no longer be offered, it will no longer be offered as a separate extension in future releases. So you can use Insight or whatever you are building directly inside the Revit. You can send them for the analysis on the inside as well. So So we have this total carbon analysis for architect, and this so this next generation of insight basically, uh, or the introduction of carbon insight, it helps you analyze the carbon impacts and more likely the trade-offs between the architectural system associated with a Revit model. So usually the early phase design is recommended, so you can quickly um, take more advantage of your insight. Okay, okay. So we will now talk about the analysis. So you will see the major improvements in the structure ones and the major improvements um, in the MEP ones as well. So in 2025, you can basically use the local coordinate system tool for these analytical members and panel to align axis orientation and direction. And you can use a reference line again with some improvements in how you can simply align your members, and you can support the control of orientation for loads. So overall, it basically improve the analytical consistency with your structural analysis software, which is a robot structural package where do you do the structure analysis. And you will see again some enhancement in analytical modeling. So those who have used this structure analysis or the analytical modeling tool, they will better relate it. So some more improvement with the analytical automation and analytical model alignment with grids and level for whole buildings. And you will see the better connectivity for analytical elements as well. And for those who run the HVAC analysis, so you will see the building operating schedules can now be easily accessed under MEP settings. So if you go on MEP settings, you can see the building schedules. You can customize, you can create your own schedules as per the standards, and you can run the analysis quickly. Okay. So some interoperability improvements. So let's see. So you have some improvements, and you will see some improvements in the UI and some different data features as well. So you will see that the organize and display link data types with total counts for efficient management, and some different implemented search and filter, and different changes in the structure for easy data exploration. And your search functionality have been improved, your detail information panel. So they have some more customized columns as well, which basically allowed you to set the visibility of individual column and design to adapt to different screen sizes. So pretty much it's all the user interface changes in your new managed link dialog box. Okay. Yep. So you will see some improved IFC export mapping settings. So you will see customized Revit category with mapping templates. You can create, import, or duplicate, save, and rename and now delete templates as well. You can search for the keywords and you can reset the values to the default. Uh, so again, improve collaboration or improve export. Like if you want to export, you have now more settings you can play with. And some again more import or export option. So Revit basically is now supporting importing of step files. So you can now import step files, and I guess it's in 2024 version as well. And but the new feature here is you can map imported geometry to a specified Revit category as well. Previously, there were workarounds where we can import the step file. We have to take it to the Naviswork, and we can directly link the step file uh, into into our project, but it doesn't allow us to play with the step file as well. But now it supports the step file formats, and you can simply specify it into the Revit category. So it will basically behave it as a family now. Some addition to the new coordinate system, which are based on these standards. So if you have anything to do with these, you will find it a good improvement. So this is, I'm not sure if many of you guys used it. So Autodesk Informed Design is basically a platform-based solution that brings information, that brings manufacturing information to the beginning of the design. So it basically helps you do the design decisions and improve your project certainty, and you can prevents errors as well. So there is a add-in available for you, which basically allow you to utilize the um, manufacturer products. You can directly use the manufacturer products. So uh, again, if you are using the manufacturer products, it ensure that you have less error within your 3D model. So you can download the plugin and use and see if it can work for you. Again, we have some new changes, update and replace, and I'm not gonna spend more time on this. So some enhancement on LCS system to after Revit analytical LCS enhancement. So you can see that it's more better support of BIM centric structural analysis. So if you are doing the structural analysis in Revit, this is improved version of your structural analysis. Yeah, for the steel members. So you can see this new detail steel design in Revit 2022. So you can transfer and synchronize single part marks and assembly mark for your steel elements and for structural steel connection components from advanced steel to basically Revit. So this is basically allowing you to create GA drawings for your steel projects using Revit, and you will again be better connected with the with the design and the fabrication and the construction parts of this. So it's basically give you the better connected project across design, fabrication, and construction as well. Next is we will see some cloud improvements. So you can easily or see the monitoring, some changes in the monitoring of your coordination model, some changes in the UI, and you will see the display of number of changes, added, modified elements, and the deleted elements. So they just tried it to make it more consistent. So you have the better collaboration experience. So again, this is revised in 2025.1 release, where IFC and the Naviswork file, which is NWC file, these types has been enabled for the coordination model changes. So the NW file exported from the Revit, and you will see that it will be able to support or review the coordination capabilities for the Naviswork file, which is exported from Revit and even from AutoCAD. And for the IFC files exported from AutoCAD or architecture or MEP or even Civil 3D 2018 and onwards, it supports ArchiCAD, Revit, MagicCAD, and the Tekla structure. So the bottom line is basically it basically enhance linking of coordination models and better understanding of the objects that change in coordination models, uh, highlighted and visualized in project views. So again, you will have some enhanced linking experience with your coordination models. Documentation efficiency, you will find this useful as you will be using these things in your day-to-day tasks. So you will see the sheet collection. So sheet collections basically allows you to assign any sheet in the model into different flexible grouping that can be referenced across Revit, such as in views, in schedules and filters. So it also gives you the ability to have multiple sheets with the same number, and your each sheet can only exist in one location. So either it can be inside your seat collection or it can be inside directly inside the model. Okay, so again, you can filter. You will see in your sheet schedule, you will see this sheet collection parameter here. You can filter it on the basis of your sheet collection parameter. So it gives you more control over or organizing of your sheets. Similarly, you can, for your browser organization, if you want to organize your browser hierarchy for the sheets, you can use the sheet collections as well. And even for the printing, you can use the sheet collection. If I go on, sorry, if I go on here, you can print on the basis of sheet collection. Like you can, if you want to print the sheets which are grouped under your collection one, you can print them as well. Some enhancement uh, in the material library. So to manage multiple project material, you can simply select them and you can simply right click and choose between deleting them from your model, or you can simply add them to your custom library. So you can manage your materials quickly. Again, this is related to all your render settings and your materials. I will simply go on. The date the you most likely you will use this one, and I usually find it a great feature, or it was most needed one. So you can simply align your annotation stuff. You can see this options. You don't need to manually pick your particular tag or text element, and you can quickly align by using this new options here. This is again the good one. You don't have to wait for your PDF process uh, to uh, to load. It can be now loaded in your background processes, so you can continue your working. You can monitor the status of your PDF export. So again, this is the good one. Some enhancement on your PDF export and print. You will see we have dedicated columns which you can sort. The new columns are also added with this sheet number and the sheet revisions, and you can see the support unsafe 3D view in the background PDF export. So the major one is your new parameters which are added here. And they have made some slight changes on the calculations of room parameters. So you will see some enhanced accuracy on these ones. And again, if you are updating your previous model to 2025 version, you will see some slight change in the values, and that's all because of they have changed the calculation engine. So you will get more accurate data from your room schedules now. You have this presentation here. So now you can set up the presentation option for your multiple rebar sets at once. So you can create reinforcement floor plans more easily by simply managing the presentation options of multiple rebar sets at once. So you can it's basically productive. You can quickly set up your presentation for the rebars. Again, some specific improvements on the tag and dimension components of your connection. So in previous version, when you created a connection and then basically you made a detailed drawing with dimensions and descriptions from that connection. So after breaking such a macro, using the break option, the dimension and description would basically scatter. But now you can simply tag and dimension individual components of the steel connections, and you can tag uh, existing tags, and your dimensions are basically your existing tags and dimensions are preserved if you break the steel connection. So they will not going to scattered. They will always be going to be preserved in 2025 version. So we have some shared parameter in structural truss family, and they are schedulable instance and type shared parameters defined in structural truss family. Again, the shared parameters are taggable parameters, so they are taggable as well. So again, it basically improves your construction documentation productivity as well. So for improvements on the pressure drops, and if you will see some options in your analytical model categories for the duct segments and the pipe segments, and now you can see the flow information for your analytical duct segments. On the properties palette, you will see the flow information for your duct panels and for your pipe systems as well. And another new parameter is basically added. Like for fabrication, they have added a material gauge parameter. So And again, this parameter can be used in tag and can be used in schedules as well. So it can be used in the tag and it can be used in schedule as well. So I guess we are done here. So the presentation is yeah, pretty it's presentation heavy session. So I can see some, if you guys have any question, just write on the chat, or you can simply email us on info@a2ktoechnologies.com.au. So I got one question. So I got one question here, which is with this allow wall joints, can that be set at a material layer level? Example, to have a structural frame layers meet but not internal cladding. You can individually control the, okay. Yeah, but you can, like, if you are talking about the uh, finishing layer, you can individually control the finishing layer as well. But with this one, like this allow wall joints, you cannot simply control your structural frame layers. It's not possible to do it from there. But if you're talking about, let's say, the generic wall which have a plaster board on the finishing part, you can control that plaster board finishing part individually, but not with this disallow wall joints. That's something different. So if you guys have just more questions, just let me know. We are done with the session. Okay, so no more question, but again, you can always reach us at this info. So thank you everyone for attending this session, and have a good day.